So we climb our mountain of holiness to complete the early treatment. We climb our mountain of holiness. We face up. We work. We have to, holiness is important. We have to work to achieve it. Every morning we say our allegiance prayer, and then we got to say, what am I working on? How can I be holier in this day? Where are my temptations? So that's how we climb this mountain of holiness. I'll tell you one story, two stories, and then I'll give us a break. The first story is this. I was watching a late night television show, and there was a priest, a former priest. He had been laicized on this late night television show. He was now married. And he was talking about that priests should be married. He was really pushing for this. Now, late night television is not a good place for any apostle, is it? What was I thinking? It just happened. It was like a tragic. So I'm watching this thing. I'm thinking, oh, super, you know. And he says, it was so lonely. It was impossible. He said, when I was a priest, I felt like I had my face pressed up against the window of other people's lives. I thought, wow, that's pretty bad. I said, that poor man, he was a nice guy, a likable man, a sympathetic individual. You know, you liked him. So I brought this to Jesus, and I said, Jesus, what do you think about this? This man felt like he had his face pressed up against the windows of other people's lives. And Jesus said, he was facing the wrong way. Face heaven. If you face down the mountain, you will be tempted to think everybody has more money than us. As Nora said, if you're serving Christ, I don't know, I don't think you'll be rich. If you are rich, you're going to have a heavy obligation to steward the money. That's okay. You can do it. Talk to Eustace. He'll help. Face Christ on the mountain. So if a priest faces Jesus, he will see Jesus so resplendent, beautiful eternity stretching out behind him. He will feel love for all of God's children that is placed in his heart at ordination. A vocation to the priesthood, to the religious life, is the same as a marriage. It's not always fun, but it's always important to heaven. And we'll talk specifically about them. So we face Christ face up on the. I'll tell you another story. There was a woman I know, and there are a lot of people having difficult times now, aren't there? People are suffering. We're prepared. We're ready. Ready to help. This woman was having so many crosses come down on her, losing not one but two houses. Difficulties here. Some of the crosses were a result of bad choices. Some of the crosses were economic times. But as I spoke with her, I felt myself getting lower and lower and lower. Did that ever happen to you? It seemed like there was no hope. The problems were too big. The sadness too complete. I just felt so weighted down. It was almost like being put into this, bad place. So I went down to church. I sat down. I couldn't pray. It was that heavy, that oppressive. And I sat down and I thought, there's no hope. It's hopeless. And I'm an impatient person, and once in a while it works to my benefit. This was one of those times. I thought, hold on a minute. Either I work for Jesus Christ or I don't. Either I believe all this or I don't. What right have I to have so little hope in the face of everything Jesus has done and showed me for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people? So I got up, I went back, I went and found her and said, we are a disgrace to heaven. We are an embarrassment to all the saints. I said, sit down and let me pray, and let's bring Christ into this and start fixing all this. And that's what I did, and we prayed together, and the Lord was generous, and she said to me a couple days, she said, I don't know, it's just all gone. It's all still there, but I just don't care about any of it. I feel very happy and peaceful. That's what he's looking for, happy and peaceful despite the difficulties.